I am writing this because you told me to. We both know I never listened, at least not to you. I let in all the other voices and tuned yours out, yet somehow every utterance of you is seared into my memory. So here I am, staring at a page, not knowing what to say. You told me when I felt like this to put a pen to paper, even if nothing came out other than a tear-soaked page. I never even managed that. I can assure you that this page will be crusted in salt once it dries, and I'll do my best to do more than just write your name over, again and again. They call this thing I'm doing guided imagery. I don't need a guide for that. My mind is full enough of vivid thoughts, some real, some imagined. Those thoughts could encompass a lifetime. Still, it's supposed to help with this trauma I never asked for, the kind that kept me from loving you the way you needed to be loved, so I'm willing to try. I listened to the woman's voice telling me what to imagine. Place your hands where you can feel your breath, she says. I place my hand on my chest the way you used to. I cover it in my other hand, clutching onto it for dear life, the way I used to clutch yours. Feel your heartbeat, she says, and I do. If that thud means I'm alive, then why do I feel so dead? I drift off into a dreamlike state, relaxed in darkness, alone. Feel your guide show up, she says, and I do. I can't see you, but I can feel your presence. You've always had a commanding presence, the kind that makes everyone's head turn when you walk in a room. You gently lay your hand on my shoulder and lead me into the recesses of my heart. My heart is a minefield of pain. It's dark in here. It reminds me of the cave we ventured into in the mountains. It was dark there too, except then it was you that was scared. It was me holding your hand, leading you through the blackness, offering you a sense of direction when you had none. This time, the roles were reversed. It amazes me how you know where to go, how you know each turn, how to avoid each pile of pain. The self-doubt is a tar pit bubbling up in the corner, the abandonment a pile of rubble just around the bend, the rejection a cascading fall of lava straight ahead. You know my heart better than I do. You always have. We go deeper and deeper until suddenly there's light, a glowing purple geode, amethyst I think, and I remember the story about wonky quartz that turns into a colorful masterpiece, a result of all the things that aren't supposed to happen. There were so many things that weren't supposed to happen to me, yet here I am. I turn into a child now, alone in an alpine meadow, you smiling down on me. Out come the deer, the rabbits, the horses, and the squirrels. Where in the actual hell am I? A Disney movie? My fucking Aurora is skipping through the woods right now? I guess that would make sense. I've always lived in a fantasy world. A fantasy you felt like you could never compete with. Little did you know you'd be here in my actual fantasy. I remember the time you told me that I was still that little girl, one worthy of love. I see you tell me that with your eyes again. You are proud of me. You have always been proud of me. The loud voice tells me that it's time to leave. You hand me a tiny piece of crystal for when I'm ready to start putting things back together. I'm not ready. Not yet. So I place it in my pocket. I will keep it for another day. You guide me back through the blackness up to the surface. I can't see your face anymore, but I can hear you breathing. She says you have to go. I don't want you to. I want you to stay here with me forever. She tells me that you're placing your hand on my chest, that I should feel it. I do feel it. Every bit of it. How did she know? How did she know of the place that belongs to you and only you? How did she know that the last time I left you, you pressed your hand into that exact spot? Was that your reminder of what we had, of what we were, of what we could be? I pressed my hand there harder, the way you used to, remembering the only thing that made me feel safe. You made me feel safe. I'd laid this suitcase on my chest so I could feel somebody's weight. Suitcases can be palms too. The uncontrollable sobs start now. The water I'm in starts beating against the walls. It is not a calm lake without ripples she's describing. The voice is a liar. It's turbulent and scary, and I want you to come back. Yet you're not here. It's just me alone in the same stupid bathtub that broke us that stupid September Saturday. The day your body was with her, but your heart was with me, and my words broke it beyond repair. I think your heart has tar pits too. Once upon a time, you told me that me without anyone in my head was the closest thing to perfect you've ever seen. So what do I do now that you live in it? Now that I hear everything you say, now that you're the guide to my own broken heart? If a story is in you, it has to come out. Those are the words on the first notebook you bought for me. I know these words have to come out. I know they have to be said aloud in order for me to learn what's in that darkness so that I don't need you anymore. So I'm writing them, and I will write all the other ones that come to mind, even if it's only because you told me to, because one day I know that they will be for me and only me.